Hey guys, yes, I look like a zombie. Sorry, I'm still kind of sick. By the way, if at any point of this video I interrupt myself by yawning, it's not that I'm tired necessarily, it's just that, I don't know, I think it alleviates the pressure in my head somehow. It's been happening a lot, so don't think that I'm like staying up until all hours of the morning or anything. I'm just, every time I yawn, my ears pop and the pressure in my head gets better, so I think that's something my body's just doing on its own to make me feel a little bit better at least. I guess we'll see how it goes. Hi everybody, Carla here. I am still alive, not by much, honestly. I'm still feeling pretty crappy. I was feeling great last week when I did my last extra excuse video, and then on Monday I started getting headaches again, which is something that hadn't happened in like days. So Monday, Tuesday, now Wednesday, I am still dealing with the headaches. Thankfully not as bad as they used to be. But as I still haven't been able to see a neurologist, I'm still trying to figure out how to make it better. I'm gonna try and make this video very short because of that, because I don't want to be sitting for too long and I don't want to be talking for too long, just in case I start feeling bad again. So I hope you can understand that. But this week I was going to talk about X-Men, generally speaking, and just the entire X-Men universe and all the changes they've made recently that have made me super nervous. But I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about that today. Instead, on Sunday, Lucasfilm released a trailer for the Han Solo movie, and I thought the trailer was great. I really liked it, so I decided I'm just gonna do a really quick sort of review of the trailer and just tell you what I think about the movie and what I'm expecting from it. There's been a lot of bad news about this movie, starting with the change in directors, which was really abrupt and freaked everybody out. That said, I like Ron Howard. I think he's a great director. He seems to be like the sweetest person ever. Like just today he was like retweeting a cover magazine where his daughter was like the cover person, and he was all like, "Look, Mom, this is my daughter." It was so cute. I think he's a great guy, and I think he's a capable director, so I have no real reason to be afraid of what the movie's going to turn out with him. I do think it's probably going to be a little less risky, I guess, because he's more the type of, you know, this is what we want you to do and that's what he does. He doesn't necessarily take this many risks. He's just very efficient about it. So that on one side, but I'm not sad that he took over the reins. I'm really glad. I think he was the person to sort of rein the ship in after the directors were fired. But because it took longer and they had to reshoot a lot, we hadn't seen anything of this movie until like a month ago, which is pretty terrifying to Star Wars fans, given that the movie comes out on May 24th, I believe. So people were freaking out. It's like, it's 2 months until the movie comes out, we haven't seen anything. And I understand that it was because they had to reshoot a lot, and you know, just looking at the trailers we got, the special effects seem pretty daunting. So I'm not surprised that they took their time to make sure everything looked right. I liked the first trailer. I think I like this one better. Not only do we get a better sense of the characters, including Han, which is for me the most important thing, because Han is my favorite character in the Star Wars universe in general. And it's already a daunting task to try and portray a character that was made famous by Harrison Ford. And a character that is so iconic to so many people. So this is one of those movies that I didn't really want. Like, why would you go back and make a new Han Solo? Like, that made no sense to me. But sure, I would like to know more about Han. I love him as a character, so why not, I guess. If they're gonna give it to me, I'm gonna go watch it. That's it. But I do think it's very important that we get to see more of him, precisely because he's such an iconic character. And, you know, I haven't seen this Aaron Reich kid in anything else. I know that he was in, like, Hail Caesar. I never saw that. I don't care. He seems okay. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, that's not my Han, and whatever. I have seen shades of Han in what we've seen from the trailers. In this one in particular, like, there's that one interaction. Like, his interactions with Chewie are the best. Is the one at the beginning where he's like, so what do you think, Chewie? And Chewie just roars, and he's like, what do you know? That's so Han. Like, to me, that was like, okay, that's Han. I see it right there. He doesn't sound like Han, but he wasn't going to sound like Han. But when he acts those little mannerisms that Han has, I can totally see it. I also really like the joke at the end where he's like, 190 years. So funny. I really like it. Of course, in this trailer we hear a lot more from Lando. I mean, I don't think there's one person out there who thinks that Donald Glover is not perfect to play Lando. Like, I'm pretty sure that casting announcement was met with universal praise. We all know he's going to be perfect. We all know he's probably going to be the best part of this movie. So yeah, I'm great with not seeing more of him necessarily. He's got the swagger. We all know he does. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the movie. We did hear a little bit more of the new characters. Like, Emilia Clarke's character started speaking at the beginning of the trailer, and there was a lot of her dialogue, which is kind of odd because you would think that they would go with a character that we know more about just to, you know, pull us into the trailer. But I like what she seems like. I also really like that bit where Woody Harrelson's character tells Han that he shouldn't trust anybody because then he won't be disappointed. I think that's going to be the main lesson that Han is going to learn in this trailer, in this movie. And I think that's going to be the lesson that makes Han who Han is when we first see him in episode 4. So I found that very interesting. Now, I see people speculating that Woody Harrelson's character is going to betray Han, and that's precisely why they use that line. I'm not sure. At this point, I'm feeling like that's a bit too obvious. Like, if that's what's gonna happen, they shouldn't have used that line in the trailer. Honestly, right now, and of course this is all speculation, I have no knowledge of any of this, I'm feeling like Woody's character might actually die, and Emilia Clarke's character, Qi'ra, might be the one who betrays Han. I part of that is just because I want to see Emilia Clarke play a bad guy. I think that would be really fun. And I don't want them to do the, you know, tragic love story type thing where she dies in the end. So I want, if she's going to be out of Han's life for good by the time that episode 4 starts, which I assume she will be, like, she's definitely going to be some kind of love interest. I just don't think it's going to last. And I don't think it's going to last because she's going to turn on him. And I mean, if she dies, sure, but like, I don't think she's gonna die a martyr. I don't think that's what they want to do. They don't want to give Han another big love interest because we all know that it's Leia. You know what I mean? Like, no. So right now I'm thinking that, yeah, it's probably Woody's character is going to sacrifice himself somehow, and Emilia Clarke's character is going to betray him, like, really bad. That's what I'm thinking of, honestly. We also get to see Chewie's wife, which, you know, I've never seen the Star Wars Christmas special. I don't have any desire to see the Christmas special, but I hear she's from the Christmas special, so apparently this has now made the Christmas special canon or whatever. It hasn't made it canon. They just plug characters from Legends and other stuff wherever they want to bring them back in, like Thrawn. So I don't think this necessarily means that the Christmas special is canon. I just think it means they like the idea of Chewie having a wife or a girlfriend or whoever she is. I don't know, but I think it's interesting. I mean, he's been alive 190 years. Yeah, he's definitely gotten some, guys. It's not like she was a virgin or anything. He's definitely had girlfriends or wives or kids or whatever. I like that we got to see little glimpses of Paul Bettany's character. I'm really interested in seeing how he deals with stuff, because apparently he's some kind of like mob boss. But I don't think he's gonna be like double crossing anybody. I think he's gonna be a straightforward mob boss. The one I really want to learn more about is Tandy Newton's character, who I don't even know who she's playing, but she seems badass from what little of her we see in this trailer. I just want to know who she is. We haven't really heard anything about her yet, so I'm interested. I know that a lot of people are speculating that she might be Sana Solo, like Han's wife from the comics or whatever. Maybe, but I just want to know. I want to have it confirmed. As for the trailer itself, I really like the tone. It starts off really dark, and there's been speculation over and over again through the years since Disney bought Lucasfilm that they're going to do something with the underworld, like bounty hunters or just a mob kind of movie or TV show or something. And a lot of people are really excited about it. Honestly, when I started watching this trailer, that's where my mind first went. Like, maybe they won't make some kind of underworld movie because this movie is meant to be the underworld movie. It really looks like something out of a mobster film, you know? So I found that very interesting, but I like it. I like that they can put those two concepts together and manage to make a Han Solo movie work, because it makes a lot of sense. Han was part of the underworld when we first meet him, so that it's interesting. And then the one thing about this trailer that kind of bugged me a little is that it sort of suddenly becomes a war film of some sort. Like, there's a lot of battles in here, and I'm not usually interested in watching battles. Space battles are fine, but like actual battles, like on solid ground with people throwing bombs at each other and shooting each other, not necessarily. I don't tend to like those as much, and there was a lot more battling going on here than I expected to see from a Han Solo movie. Like, at one point you see Emilia Clarke throwing something like a grenade or whatever it is, and I'm just like, are we in Game of Thrones? Like, what is happening? So that's the only thing that kind of put me off a little bit. But if these battles are contained within some sort of grand adventure plot, I'm okay with that, because I want Han Solo to be an adventure movie, basically. And if that means there are gonna be battles, okay, but I hope it's not like everything is one big battle. I don't want Battle of the Bastards in this thing, I just want adventure. So that kind of put me off a little bit, but other than that, it looks great. I think this is gonna be a fun movie. It might not be the best Star Wars movie ever made, but as long as it's entertaining, and as long as Han feels like Han, I'm good. He doesn't have to be a carbon copy of Han Solo, of Harrison Ford's Han Solo, but he has to feel like Han, and I do want to know how Han became Han, like how he became the smuggler with ties to the underground that we see in episode 4, and where his philosophy in life came from. So yeah, I actually quite like this trailer. I'm gonna keep it short because my head's starting to hurt, but I quite liked it. I'm really looking forward to the movie now. I you know, most people were hesitant, and I think a lot of people still are hesitant, not just because of the turmoil that this production has been through, but also because of The Last Jedi, because there's a lot of people out there who didn't like The Last Jedi. I'm not one of them, so I was looking forward to another Star Wars movie. I was just worried about the production issues that they had, but it looks good, and you know, there are tons of movies out there like Rogue One, right, like World War Z, that, you know, they go through a lot of trouble, but in the end, reshoots and everything, as long as the end product is good, I'm okay with it. So that's what I'm hoping from Han Solo, that it's fun, that it's entertaining, that it feels like Star Wars, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I always thought that they should have moved it to December. I still feel like that just because I feel in December it would have made a lot more money, honestly, and I want it to be kind of a Star Wars tradition from now on that the movies open in December. But if it's done now, I'll take it. It looks like a summer movie, so sure, why not? And yeah, that's about it from me today. Really short video. Sorry guys, but the health thing, it's a real deal. I will be back with another video probably about Stranger Things, but I'm trying to wait a little bit until later in the month to actually talk about them, just in case we get more casting announcements for Stranger Things Season 3. But I'm definitely thinking about doing that, so just stay tuned. I'll be back with another video next week. I don't know what it will be about, but I will definitely be back as long as I'm feeling well, I guess. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like my stuff, please subscribe to my channel. And while you're down there, if you have any suggestions of any topics that you'd like me to talk about, if it's anything geeky like books, movies, TV, anything like that, and if it's anything that I know anything about, I'll make sure to add it to my list of videos to make in the future, so please do comment and let me know if you have any thoughts on that. In the meantime, you can find me on social media. I am on Twitter and Instagram at girlsareweird with underscores between the words, and I am on Tumblr at girlsareweird with hyphens between the words. You can find a Facebook page for this blog at facebook.com/FreakingNarnia, and as usual, you can visit my main website at FreakingNarnia.com. All my videos are up there in case you missed any and want to catch up. Just go and it's all uploaded there. Also remember that I do have a Redbubble store where I make art based on my favorite quotes from my favorite fandoms, and then you can use that art to print on merchandise such as computer covers, t-shirts, mugs, all sorts of cool stuff in there. So be sure to visit and maybe purchase something if you're in the mood. It really does help me a lot. I also wanted to let you know that this past weekend I started working some more on turning these videos into podcasts. So you can look Talks from Freaking Narnia up in iTunes and on Stitcher and on all your major podcasting platforms. I'm up to 20 episodes now. This weekend I will work on some more. Of course, I have a lot of catching up to do, but I am working on it, so if that's a better way for you to get this show, be sure to look them up and subscribe. So that's about it for me today. I will see you guys next Friday with another talk from all the way in freaking Narnia. Please pray that I'm feeling better by then, because right now I'm still half dead and it's not pretty. Bye guys. If at any point of this video I interrupt myself by who thinks that Lando is not perfect to play the grand plot, I don't want Battle of the such as books,